And here I am, like, hey guys.
Here we are.
And they're both younger than me, you know?
Okay.
So it's like, they set the tone for the family, like us cousins, like, you know, married, then had kids. And that's what I want.
Yeah.
I would argue that you're actually in a better spot than them, being younger, being married, and having kids. I would argue that. But, I mean, for your perspective, you might actually want that. Like you said, a little bit there, it sounds like you're a little, FOMO. Kind of fear of missing out a little bit because they're getting their lives started, like with their family and everything. And you're like, dang it, I'm 30, I don't have it going yet. But you're actually dodging a lot of bullets. Because there's a lot of guys out here just that are like just going to play with you. And you're dodging the bullets by just saying, hey, I'm not even going to go into their direction. And maybe you don't realize that now, but like from the outside looking in, I could tell that you're actually dodging bullets by not getting with some of these bum guys. Because maybe they're starting a family with their kids and everything like that. But who's to say in 2 years later they're getting a divorce? And now she's 24 with the kid, going through a divorce. Now she got a baby daddy. Now she's going through all that, and you're actually not having to deal with that. So you actually have a upper hand, and you don't even realize it. Maybe just because the age that y'all like.
Society says, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So the thing is, for me, is to not go with society and go with what's gonna make you happy. So I think that's the whole thing in this whole thing is finding what's gonna make you happy. Not, oh, my cousins are getting married, I need to get married. No. You got to go on your own track. Because obviously, if that's the case, you should go get the job doing what your cousin's doing, right? But that's not the case because you're going to try to do your own creative thing.
Right.
Go ahead, Eric.
No, actually, that was actually going to lead into my question was, are men more afraid to commit in the relationship and look into marriage? How do you feel about that? Why do you think men are like pulling back from marriage?
What do you think?
Why do you think? Why do you think men are not wanting to commit nowadays?
I don't know. I feel like, what do you mean, like the younger guys or just any age?
Just
20,
in general,
30s, 40s?
in today's age,
the guys you're dealing with.
Yeah.
I feel like, hold up, I'm not dealing. No, I ain't dealing with nobody. I don't know. I feel like they just want to have fun, have multiple women, or just have like a friends with benefit. Like
That sounds fun.
they just they don't want no type of commitment because they don't want to hear no nagging. They don't want to like hear accusations. They don't want to hear like, oh, where were you? Why didn't you answer your phone? I feel that these men, like, they don't want that. They don't want to be committed to one lady. They just want to do whatever they want, go out, party, drink, get drunk, do drugs, whatever the case is. Like,
I can argue that, right? Because what guys are you meeting, right? Because there's not every guy's out doing drugs and alcohol and partying, right? I think it comes down to who you're actually meeting. Now, you mentioned that you also go into dating apps and you've tried all that. Are these guys intentional? Are these guys being intentional with you, or are they being deceiving, right? I think it's like a fine line between that. Guys who are intentional, they're going to be transparent with what they want, right? Whether they want something serious or they just want to have a good time. And so that kind of leads me into the reason I feel men are not wanting to commit is because of what comes after that when it comes to marriage, right? Now, I don't know, again, the kind of men that you're dating and all that, but a lot of the girls that now in today's age, they're not wanting to just settle with someone who is quote unquote average. Mm-hmm. So we're talking about like high value men who are in the 10%. The 10% are guys who are making six figures and above, right? And a lot of the times these guys who are in the 10% or even 1%, it comes with a lot of bullshit. It comes with a lot of that infidelity. It comes with a lot of that, like, you know, I'm going to spend more time with my boys and all that, which I can also argue that I think it's a good idea to spend more time with your boys than it is with your girl. There's a lot of things behind that, and that's a whole different conversation. But I think that a lot of the times now, you know, if guys are going to commit, they're looking at, especially the 10% or 1%. Well, I have all this. I've built all this throughout all my years of life, mainly my 20s, built my way up to in my 30s. A man's peak years or prime years are from 30 to 35. A lot of people can argue that too. And people, you know, guys are saying, well, I've been building my way up to my 30s and I have all this. I'm making all this money, and now I have to commit to one woman, which is great. I have nothing against that. But the moment that I slip or something happens within myself and I have no longer that support from my woman, and she gets attention somewhere else, or she sees the value in someone else,